are about to reveal our quarterback rankings for the upcoming season. We've crunched the numbers, analyzed the stats, and consulted our magic 8 ball to bring you our list of the top 10 quarterbacks for this season. Let's get to it.
Are you ready? Let's go!
We are back. Welcome back to the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Vandy. That's Trey. And the time is now, Trey.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, buddy? How's it going?
It's going, man. Got a new dog, crazy life, but we got football to talk about, man. I'm excited about this episode. It's a little different than what we normally do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a little bit different indeed. We're talking about our top 10 quarterback rankings. We're doing a little different here. I got my 10. Trey's got his 10. We couldn't agree. So we're going to start at 10. We're going to work our way down, and we're going to figure it out as we go.
Yeah, and we don't even know each other's top 10 yet, so it's going to be a surprise for everybody.
That's right. Spoiler alert, baby. But guys, don't forget to check out our friends over at Manscaped. The code is at the top of the screen, and it's down in the description. Great stuff over there. Check them out. But let's go ahead and hop into it, buddy. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and start us off. Get us popping here. I'm going to go with number 10 on my list. And I don't know. I feel like you might be a little surprised by that. But number 10 on my list is Tua Tagovailoa. What do you think?
Okay. I mean, I don't hate that at all. I think I had him bouncing up there for a second, and then I pulled him down. I think he's more of 10 through 15 or 11 through 15, but I like it. I think it's definitely a possibility.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Tua, look, Tyreek just come out, said he's going over 2,000 yards. Look, the problem with Tua, obviously, is the health issues. We're all worried about that. But he's been taking karate and martial arts, all that stuff, learning how to protect himself. And I think Tua's going to be good. I think he's going to go out there and hopefully we're going to get that first half of the season we got last year of Tua. And I think that's why he's coming in at my top 10.
Yeah, man, I like the Tua's pick. I mean, obviously, they've got Hill and Waddle still. It's kind of the same setup as long as he can stay healthy. And if they get Dalvin Cook, that's even more pass-catching option for him. Dalvin Cook loves those, 20-yarders that no one expects to him, and he just runs for the end zone. So I think Tua is a good pick there, man. I think the team has what it takes. It's just Tua's health is the only thing that scares me there.
Yeah, absolutely. But just in the games that he did play last year, he had 3,500 yards, threw for 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with 105.5 passer rating. So, and that's just with the games he played last year. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers only threw about 25 touchdowns himself, and he played all year. So that is something.
Definitely. But jumping over to my number 10 spot on my list, somebody that y'all probably weren't expecting to be here, but I'm excited for this dude this year, and that is Jared Goff, baby.
Oh, Jared Goff coming in at number 10, huh?
Mr. Offense. He ended at the top as a top 10 quarterback. He was at the 10 spot last year. I think he'll be better this year, but the talent above him is just so strong. It's hard to put him any higher. He does have some receivers and some different players suspended for gambling. But they did lose both of their running backs, but they got Jahmyr Gibbs, who is said to be a versatile player and be a massive increase to the pass catching game, which I think will really benefit Jared Goff. I mean, he already knows how to bomb it downfield. Now he's going to have a guy to check it down to. I think Jared Goff, you already know that this team produces offensive fantasy value, and I think Jared Goff is good enough to be in top 10.
Ooh, that's a spicy take, buddy. I love it. I actually got Goff at number 19 in my rankings, but hey, I mean, I could see it. I mean, if he comes in number 10 quarterback, I mean, that Amon-Ra's stats are going off the roof, right?
Definitely.
I love it, buddy. I love it. Let's see. I'm going to go with my number 9 ranking, and that's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Coming in at number 9, a lot of people sleeping on this guy, falling way down in your drafts. If he steps it up, and I really think that Aaron Rodgers has something to prove to the Packers. Like, he's like, bro, I was gonna retire, but now I'm gonna come and I'm gonna spank some ass. So I think Aaron Rodgers comes in there. He's got Garrett Wilson. He's got guys around him. He's got playmakers. I mean, dude's gonna do it. I think, and coming in number 9.
Yeah, I dig Aaron Rodgers at 9. I have him at 11 in my rankings, but I like the position. You know, this dude, he's the only thing that scares me is he's going to a whole new team. It's a whole new world. We don't know. It's almost like looking at a rookie quarterback, except for we know Aaron Rodgers is an MVP like quarterback. So he has the potential to easily get top 5. Without a doubt, I like the pick.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely.
But jumping to my number 9 on my list, another guy that doesn't get a lot to talk about, but hey, this dude was a top 5 quarterback last year in half PPR. Okay, and that is Geno Smith, baby. Let's go.
Oh my God, Geno Smith. Okay, tell me why. Why is Geno Smith
This team
up
has
there?
done nothing but improve. They got a great wide receiver in the draft and got an extra running back. He was the most accurate passer last year. Would be higher on this list, but the talent is so strong. I mean, this team didn't do nothing this offseason but get better. But the reason why Geno Smith doesn't get what his worth talked about is because he's a boring player. You know, he was been a backup. He's been in the league forever. He's not exciting, but he's going to put up the numbers. He's going to be consistent, and he's going to produce fantasy points. Just wait and see.
Yeah, this is a spicy top 10 you got going over there, buddy. I love it. I love it. I mean, I could see it. I guess it's not that Geno is boring. He just he does what he's told, and his coach Pete Carroll is kind of an old school guy who likes to do things by the book, and defense wins championships, and check it down, do what you got to do. I mean, I could see it. I could see it happening. But I guess we're gonna find out, buddy. That's a hot take right there for sure.
I think it helps a lot that his entire division is kind of falling apart, outside of the 49ers. So I think that's going to benefit him even more. And I just really think that Geno Smith is going to put up those numbers, man. He's consistent. It's not going to look awesome. It's not going to be fun to watch, but he's going to get the points on the board.
Makes sense, buddy. Makes sense. But let's keep it rolling. Let's get to my number 8 guy on the list, and that is Justin Fields, coming in at number 8, buddy. Justin Fields, I mean, everybody says he's going to be a lot higher than that. He's going in the top 5 with quarterbacks in Superflex drafts and, top 5 quarterbacks in PPR drafts, all that good stuff. But, I mean, he's got that running ability that can help you out a lot. I think top 5 is a little high for me. I like Justin Fields. He helped me win a lot of games last year. Beautiful stuff over there. A new head coach, a new way of doing things. I think he steps it up. I think 8 is a very reasonable spot for him.
Yeah, the reason why I don't have Justin Fields in my top 10 is mostly because this team has come out and said that they don't like him running like that, that they're worried about it, and so they want him to pass more, and that scares me for Justin Fields because I've seen him make passes, and it could be on his receivers. I know they've upgraded at receiver and everything like that, but it still scares me in this passing game. If they come out and said that they were going to focus on his ground game, I would put him in the top 5 pretty easily, because his ground game is awesome, but I'm just worried about his passing game, man. And if he decides to take it on his own and take off running, I think that's where he's going to produce for fantasy.
For sure, for sure. And they are trying to give him pieces around that can catch the ball. DJ Moore has been a very good wide receiver with terrible quarterback play. So, I mean, that's a good guy to have in there.
No doubt, no doubt. But jumping to my number 8, probably a little bit higher on your list, but I still got him in the top 10. I just worry about this man a lot, and that is Lamar Jackson, baby. Finished top 14 in 2022. With the injury, still gets it done. But he does a lot of work on his legs, which is why I have him up here. I'm still worried about injury with Lamar. It seems like Lamar misses several games every year. It seems like the Ravens are boosted in preseason, but when it comes time to grind, they just fall short. And so that's what scares me with Lamar. I mean, I know they've changed around. They got Odell. They've switched it up a little bit, but it seems like every year everybody hypes up Lamar in the preseason, and then when it comes time for the season start, it just doesn't produce like they talk about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm a little worried about it because I actually am kind of hyping Lamar up this year, which has never happened before. I'm always on the other side of things with the Lamar stuff, but I really feel like Lamar is going to be good this year. So, number 8, Lamar. Okay, I like it. I mean, I could see it. I could definitely see it happening. But let's go to my number 7, which is also Lamar Jackson coming in at
Okay,
my
okay.
number 7. So we're pretty close there. Pretty close there. Who you got in your number 7 slot?
So my number 7 slot is Mr. Chains, Kirk Cousins, baby.
Ooh,
In
okay.
2022, he was in the top 7 at quarterback. He's got another year with Justin Jefferson. They upgraded at wide receiver in Addison. And Cook is gone, which is going to open up the passing game more. They're not going to be able. I mean, Madison can do the work, but they're not going to feed Madison as much as they fed Cook. I think that's going to their goal is to get Justin Jefferson more work and get this receiving game up. And I think that's only going to benefit Kirk Cousins.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I could see it. I myself have Kirk Cousins in at number 15. But I mean, I could definitely see it happening. Like you said, they got rid of Dalvin Cook, but Alexander Madison, are they just going to give him the same exact route? We did see Kevin O'Connell last year in that offense throw it hard, and sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. That's my problem with Kirk Cousins, is that you just never know what's going to happen with him.
I mean, the dude's got a top 5 wide receiver. He's got a top 5 tight end. He's got a running back that has the potential to be top 5 or at least top 10. He's got all the offense around him. He's just got to produce, and he was doing it up until the playoffs last year. And so I'm excited to see what Kirk Cousins can do this year.
Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I like it. I like it. But let's keep this thing moving, buddy. I'm gonna go to my number 6 guy on the list, and that's gonna be Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert coming in at number 6. This is, I think, the year for Justin Herbert to kind of show that, the things that we saw in his rookie season weren't just, an anomaly, that he is the guy and he can produce for this offense. I think coming in at number 6 is very reasonable for him. And if he can be the number 6, I'm sure that he will have proved that he is that guy.
Yeah, man. I have Justin Herbert a little bit higher on my list, but we could talk about that in a minute. The only thing that worries me with Justin Herbert, which I try not to be worried about it, but Austin Eckler's contract situation. I feel like if that is affected, I will change my rankings. But as of right now, I'm playing it like Austin Eckler is going to be good to go. And we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Okay, buddy. What do you got?
So my number 6 on my list is got to be the young pony boy Trevor Lawrence.
Hey, okay.
He was 8th last year in the top 10. Massive increase in value over the end of the season. I mean, he really started cooking towards the end of the year. They got an upgrade with Calvin Ridley, the man, the myth, the legend at wide receiver. Another year in the same scheme, and I think he looks to be a top 5 quarterback in 2024.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love me some Trevor Lawrence, man. He threw for over 4,000 yards last year, only 25 touchdowns, but he kind of had to get the stank of Urban Meyer off of him, and that took kind of half the year last year. But seems like the second half of the season, dude got cooking, and I like it. You got him in at number 6, Trevor Lawrence.
Definitely.
Okay, well, let's move to my number 5, who is also Trevor Lawrence. For the reasons you just said, I mean, we're pretty close on that. So, I mean, the same thing, man. I think he's going to come out and do his thing, man. I love me some Trevor Lawrence, and I just think, generational talent, they've called him, and I think we're about to see some generational talent, buddy.
Yeah, I wanted to put him in my top 5, but there's just some of the strong talent above him, man. That's why I think 2024, I think he hits that top 5 mark, but I just don't know if he's going to be right at the edge this year. We'll have to see.
We're going to find out.
But let's jump to my number 5, who is probably lower than most people's. That is your boy, Josh Allen. I've got him at number 5 this year.
Wow.
I know he was second in 2022, but he just can't seem to get over the hump that this team, they have everything that they need to succeed, and they just missed the cusp slightly. He is a goal line monster. He's going to get those touchdowns, but the team has wanted him to go easier for safety. I think they're going to do their best to dial back his goal line and his running just a little bit, because he really does put himself out there. And I just think this team is very average. I know Josh Allen's a great quarterback, but it just seems like they don't meet that exciting hype top 1 or 2 value.
Sure, sure. So the team, won't quite get over that hump, sure. But Josh Allen still did his thing and produced for fantasy. So I mean, I disagree with you there. I mean, I could totally see it happening, but I think Josh Allen's gonna still do his thing. We did see them try to bring in Damian Harris over there. So it looks like they want to have a good running game. It just doesn't never seem to work out that way for them.
Yeah, and I definitely think Josh Allen is going to produce and he's going to do great. I just think that these other guys above him are going to do even better.
Okay, I could see it. But let's go to my number 4 on the list, and somebody that you may expect it to be a little higher on this list, but that is Jalen Hurts.
Knew that was coming.
You knew it, huh? You knew that was coming?
Yeah, it sounded about right for you.
Look, here's what I'm saying though. Jalen Hurts, I think they're gonna try to not have him run the ball as much over there. Also, you got to think they've got a harder schedule. I think if you put all that stuff in the mix, I think number 4 for Jalen Hurts is still a great spot for him to come in, and that is respect. He's in my top 5. That's got to say something, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll talk more about him a little bit later.
All right. What's your number 4?
All right. My number 4 on my list, you've already spoke about him, but that is Justin Herbert, baby. I think he has a blow-up comeback year. He has everything you want in a quarterback. He's a solid team around him. I think he really steps up offensively. I think he goes back to that kind of rookie Justin Herbert and just really tears it up with that deep ball and really puts up numbers through the air. I think he just had a down year, and he's going to turn it around this year and really explode.
For sure. I mean, I think he was only averaging 6.2 yards or something like that per throw. So we better hope we see some of that popping up this year, man. I think he's going to do a lot better than he did last year, though. I really do.
Definitely.
But okay, all right, we're in the top 3, baby. Let's get to my number 3 guy on my list, and that is Josh Allen. Coming in at number 3, okay? Look, he's fallen, just one spot, I think. I still think this guy is elite. People seem to be sleeping on Josh Allen for some reason. I don't know why he's falling in drafts. I mean, he's still top 3 quarterback in my eyes in the league, and I think he's going to come out there and show you why.
Yeah, man, I understand why you got Josh Allen up there. I mean, he's a monster. My top 3, though, I mean, they're so solidified to me. It's hard to put anybody in there besides the 3 guys I got.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's go, baby. Let's see what you got.
All right, number 3 on my list. That is the man, Mr. Joe Burrow. Joe cool as a cucumber. I mean, they changed the scheme a little bit to a more passing-heavy offense in the second half of last season, and he just took off. I mean, he was basically the best quarterback in the league toward the second half of the season. If they can continue that, I think it'll be really hard for anybody to compete with these top 3 quarterbacks. I really think this team is going to succeed. They have everything working for them. They continue to get better on their offensive line. The receivers are staying the same. The team's staying consistent. Even Joe Mixon's sticking around. Just got his contract. So I'm excited to see what Joe Burrow's going to do.
Yeah, Joe Mixon took less money because he wanted to stay on that team. He knows that team is on a collision course to the Super Bowl, buddy. So I like it. I like Burrow coming in at 3. I think he's just a little bit higher on my list, and I'm going to number 2, baby, and that is Joey Burr. I mean, number 2, I got him over Josh Allen, over your boy Jalen Hurts. I like you said, man. I mean, you couldn't have said it better. Joe Burrow coming in there, man. Yeah, the problem with Burrow that people don't like is that he doesn't run the ball that much. But you know what? One thing this man has, and that is accuracy, bro. He puts the ball where it needs to be all the time. So Joe Burrow is going to come in, do what he does, be accurate, and maybe win a Super Bowl, buddy. Sick coming in at number 2.
I can dig it. But going to my number 2, baby, it's got to be my main man, Jalen Hurts. putting him in there. He's so consistent on the ground. This team has tightened up this offensive line even tighter than it already was. And the running backs have changed on this team, and I actually like him at number 2 on this list for the same reasons you don't like him this high. I think that he's going to actually run more because of the losing Miles Sanders. And I think the running backs they brought in, like DeAndre Swift, is going to be more of a pass-catching type running back. I mean, DeAndre Swift had 48 receptions last year. I think that's just going to benefit Jalen Hurts' run game. It's going to give him one more person they have to defend. And I like Jalen Hurts to get a lot of the goal line work just like he did last year, on top of having these same receivers and a beefed-up defensive side of the ball, which is going to get the ball on offense more often.
For sure, for sure. Okay. I mean, again, I'm gonna have to come back at you with this, man. That schedule is supposedly one of the hardest in the league. I mean, if he does still produce as that number 2, I will give it up to your boy and give you a Fly Eagles Fly live on this show, buddy.
All right, bet. And this is another thing, though, because of the schedule being harder, I think it's just going to cause him to run the ball more. He's going to tuck it because it's going to be a tougher thing, and he can get yards when he tucks that ball.
That makes sense. Makes sense. I could see it. Well, I can say one thing. At least we can agree on one thing, and that is our number 1 guy on this list, and that is... Give it to me.
Oh, my number 1 is Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Definitely. I mean, he's the guy. He's the guy now. I mean, now that Tom Brady, Peyton Mannings of the world are gone from the league, Patrick Mahomes can sit on the top of his throne as the best quarterback in the league. He's done things we haven't ever seen. Blah, blah, blah. Patrick Mahomes, we love you.
Look, man, and I was trying to take notes on Patrick Mahomes, and all I could think about was like, okay, unreal talent, consistently does the unexplainable, always produces no matter the situation, just always pulls himself out of any problem, finesses his way out of it. I just started watching The Quarterback on Netflix. I'm already excited about it. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the first episode. Patrick Mahomes is just a force to be reckoned with, and he's a standalone talent that's just different than the rest of the league.
For sure, for sure. I was just looking at that. That's funny you mentioned that quarterback show. I was just looking at that. Is it each episode's a different quarterback?
No, it's the 3 quarterbacks over the year. It's Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota, and it's like their life through the last season.
Okay. I got to get into that, buddy. I got to get into that.
Definitely.
But there you have it, guys. There is our top 10 quarterback rankings for your 2023 fantasy football season. What do you think, guys? Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Throw a comment down in there and let us know what you think. Who do you got number 1? Is it Patrick Mahomes? Probably. But hey, if you got somebody different, let me know.
And let us know who had a better top 10 list, Bandy or Trey. Let us know down below, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I like that. Let us know down low who had the better top 10 list. If you got to go back, rewind, rewatch it, just to double check. We understand.
Geno Smith, baby.
Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you've made it this far into the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're some of our audio listeners, go over to YouTube, type in 4th and Flex, find us, subscribe so you can see our faces.
Definitely.
Definitely. Guys, also, don't forget that we are on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/4th and Flex, and we're going to help you with your team through the upcoming season. We might even have a fantasy league just for exclusive for Patreon members. So get in there to the Patreon account, see if you could take on your boys, Bandy and Trey, and see how you can do.
Come be a part of the family, baby.
Yes, sir. And don't forget, we got merch, baby, down in the description below. Get you some, help us out, show your love, show your support. I love it.
Definitely.
All right.
Get you some merch for your boys.
That's right. Trey, our quarterback rankings are complete. Any final thoughts, buddy?
No, it's just besides it's going to be an exciting year. I can't wait till the end of the year when we get to look back and see how accurate we were. And see what our numbers are. I mean, it's fun doing this. I like that we got to kind of go against each other and challenge each other on certain things. And I'm excited for the season, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Hello and welcome to the Fourth and Flex podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Trey.
And we love football. Yay. Today, we're talking about players that are so undervalued that they might as well be free agents. We're digging deep into the depths of the draft boards to find those diamonds in the rough that will help you dominate your league. So grab a cold one and let's get started.
Are you ready? Let's go!
We are back. Welcome back to the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Bandy. That's Trey. And the time is now, Trey.
What is
Hey.
up, everybody? We are back, exactly what Bandy said, and we're here to help you win your league. You know, we're doing our thing, and we got some really good advice for you today, so y'all need to stick around. But while you're waiting, hit that like.
Do it for us. We appreciate it. Much, much love. Today, we're talking undervalued late round grabs that you want on your team. And we have got some good ones for you. But before we get to that, we are going to get a quick word from our friends over at Manscaped. Listen, guys. Manscaped has got some banging deals going on over there. Guys, right now, Manscaped has got the Beard Hedger Pro. I've been letting mine grow out a little bit, but I cannot wait to get in there and line myself up with that Beard Hedger, man. You get the whole kit, get some nice shears, all the things you need to keep your beard trim and looking great. Right now, you can go to manscaped.com. Use our promo code SUPERFLEX20. You're going to get 20% off and you're going to get free shipping.
That free shipping's worldwide, by the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't not beat that. Check out Manscaped, guys. A big supporter of our show, and we love them over there. But we have got to get into it, Trey. Again, we're talking about undervalued late round grabs that you want on your team. And I'm going to get us kicked off here, Trey. I'm going to start with a running back because you know how I love them running backs. So let's get started. I'm popping off with Damien Harris. Now, look, Damien Harris, he went from one AFC team to the next. He's a Buffalo Bill now. We know the Bills have played the Patriots for numerous years, and they always seem to get trampled on by Damien Harris. So they figured, come on over to the Bills, Damien Harris. Look, they got James Cook over there, but I really think James Cook is going to be that guy that runs out in the flat, catches balls. Great for your PPR leagues, but I think Damien Harris is going to get the yards, goal line work, all that good stuff. This guy is going to tear up the rosters, and you can get him very late on your draft boards.
Yeah, man. Damian Harris, I feel like the Bills have gotten to a point to where they kind of want to take a little weight off of Josh Allen's back. They're worried about injury with him and all the running that he does. They need a ground and pound type of guy. They've struggled in that area for several years now. Damian Harris is that ground and pound dude. And this team's going to use him. James Cook will get his time, but it's not going to shine like Damian Harris. Damian Harris is going to get out there. He's going to get low. He's going to get on the ground. He's going to get them yards. It's not going to look pretty. It's not going to be fun, but he's going to get you points for fantasy.
Absolutely. And let's not forget that in 2021, Damian Harris got 15 touchdowns. So we know that he is capable. He didn't quite hit 1,000 yards, which is scary, but I mean, you could live off them touchdowns.
No doubt. No doubt. Especially in the late rounds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But moving on to our next guy on our list, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Brandon Cooks, everybody. Big dog going to Dallas, got the trade. Exciting news. He's out there on a new team, a bright and shiny team at that. And coming off from a Houston Texans team, I know obviously he had a couple bad years, but that Houston Texas team was in shambles, and all they did was try to get Brandon Cooks the ball as much as they could. He hated it. I mean, he literally for like half the season was like, I want to be traded, don't even give me the ball type mentality. And now he's on the Dallas Cowboys team. Everything out of camp and everything is Brandon Cooks is loving it. Everybody's loving it. CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup both have come out and said that they have already learned so much from Brandon Cooks. He's a veteran. And this dude's going outside the top 40 in wide receiver ADP, number 99 overall. I mean, he's produced 6,000-yard seasons, and now he's on a high-octane offensive team who just got rid of their star running back, so they're going to be throwing the ball more, and Brandon Cooks is going to be that dude that's going to help you win your league in the late rounds.
Absolutely. I love the pick with Brandon Cooks. I'm not a big Cowboys fan, but I really think last year on the Texans, Brandon Cooks was just like, I'm over it, but now he's getting revamped. He's getting that spirit back under him. And Brandon Cooks is going to get in there and do his thing. I love the grab, Trey. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. But let's go ahead and move on to the next guy. And this is a guy that we hear about pretty much every year. He always rises a little bit in the ADP, drops in the ADP. You never know what's going on with him. But that is Antonio Gibson. Look, Antonio Gibson, he's been in the league for 3 years. He's had only one over 1,000-yard season. So that is something to look out for. His rookie year, though, 11 touchdowns. Listen, here's the thing. Washington, we know, is never been a great team. Look, they got rid of J.D. McKissick. So that's gonna open up some lanes for Antonio Gibson, and I really think that though AG is gonna get some work, and he's gonna be a steal in some of these late rounds, Trey.
Yeah, and they're creating a new scheme in this offense behind Sam Howell. I mean, obviously they're going to be throwing the ball, but they're going to have to run the ball if they want to win games. Antonio Gibson, I mean, it's either that or a guy who's been shot twice, which I'm so glad he's back. But I mean, that's got to take a toll on your play and your playability. So I think Antonio Gibson is going to be their go-to guy, and this dude even catches passes. So I mean, PPR, look out, Antonio Gibson, late round pick. But moving on to the next guy on our list. We love him. We talk about him all the time. It's your boy, Treylon Burks, out of Tennessee. Okay, I can't talk enough about how this dude has shined in the offseason. I mean, he's wide receiver 1 on this team. He was literally named the offensive X Factor by CBS Sports. And the team doesn't really have any other options, to be honest with you. I mean, they got Chigo and not much else. So he's going to have to step up for this team if they want to win any games. Derrick Henry is getting into his later years. He's not going to be able to take as much of the offense as he has in the past, and that's going to leave room for someone else to shine, and it's Treylon Burks' moment, man. I mean, he's going 77 overall in half-point PPR, so you can get him in the later rounds, and he's going to have major improvements this year. I promise you that.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has to happen. He's basically the only wide receiver on that team who's really got the juice. I mean, he's a first-round pick. He is the number 1 over there without a doubt. He needed a year to get his feet wet. The Titans have been saying that he's doing so much better this year. He is in it. I love it. I love Treylon Burks, and you can get him way late because people are totally undervaluing this guy. I love it.
Yeah, if you're looking for that second year breakout receiver, Traylon Burks is going to be at the top of my list for that.
For sure, for sure. But moving on to my next guy, and might surprise some of you, but we got to get some quarterbacks on this list, and that guy is Matthew Stafford. People are completely overlooking this guy. We know what Matthew Stafford does. Super Bowl winning quarterback from 2 years ago, threw 41 touchdowns in that Super Bowl season. And we know we love them touchdowns. I think he's coming back from injury. He's got his neck is good. He's back at it. They got Cooper Kupp over there. So, with Cooper Kupp always getting what you need him to get for fantasy, that Matthew Stafford's got to be the one to throw it to him. Sean McVay came back for a reason, and he's not gonna. He didn't come back for to lose. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And, a lot of people are overlooking Matthew Stafford because of how terrible the team looked over the end of the season. And that's without Cooper Kupp, man. That dude is a shining star for that team. He's a shining star for fantasy, and he's a shining star for Matthew Stafford to put up points on the board. With him having that connection back, they're going to connect regardless. Cooper Kupp's one of those guys that just can't be defended. He's going to get catches, and they're going to be for Matthew Stafford. So that's going to put points on the board for Matt and Kupp. So both of these guys, I think Matthew Stafford is a great pick in the late rounds.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely.
But let's throw it to our next guy on our list here. I've talked about him in every draft we've done because I think I've taken him in every mock draft that we've done. And that's Jerick McKinnon, man. Just completely undervalued, completely overlooked. I have no idea why. This dude is 127 overall in half-point PPR ADP. And he led the Chiefs, the Super Bowl Chiefs, by the way, with 535 snaps at running back, 204 more than Pacheco did, who's going several rounds earlier. The 2022 campaign saw McKinnon set several career highs, including, on top of having 535 snaps, he had 56 catches for 512 yards and 10 touchdowns. All capped off with him smiling in Arizona with his first Lombardi trophy. This dude is a monster, a Super Bowl winner, and Patrick Mahomes' go-to deep threat. You have to get this guy on your team. I promise you will not regret it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jerick McKinnon is one of those guys that he always seems to be where he's supposed to be, and he always breaks out and gets you where you need to be. And he can catch passes, he runs it here and there, but mostly this guy's gonna be catching passes for you and helping your fantasy team. I love it.
Without a doubt.
I love it. I love it. But let's keep it rolling. Keep this thing going. Going to my next guy, another quarterback on our list, and that is Sam Howell. Not a lot of talk about this guy, Sam Howell. He plays for the Commanders, which it always scares people when you're talking about anybody on that team. But last year he played one game. He had an 83 quarterback rating in that game, which isn't great. He threw for 169 yards, 1 touchdown, but they won the game against the Dallas Cowboys in that high octane offense. Sam Howell is going to be the starting quarterback, so he is a guy that you're going to be able to get way late, maybe even undrafted. He's a guy that I think is going to surprise people. And when he was coming out of college, I was a big supporter of Sam Howell, and I think he's going to show what he's got. They've made him the starter for a reason, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I definitely like Sam Howell a lot, especially for Superflex leagues and even more, especially for best ball. This dude is definitely going to stand out. This team is got to have some moments. They got Scary Terry, they got Jahan Dotson, they got Curtis Samuel. They've got the targets and the receivers available. Sam Howell just has to get them the ball. I think he's the most competent quarterback they've had in several years. And I think it's time for the Commanders to take a step up in the NFL because it's been their time to shine, and now it's time for them to really see what they can do.
Absolutely. They got the nice, shiny new uniforms. Now put some respect on that name. I love it.
Moving on to our next player on our list here. You've probably heard him talked about more than anyone else this offseason. And that's the man, Aaron Rodgers. Okay. There's not much to be said here. Besides, he switched teams to the Jets. People are sleeping on him somehow. I mean, this dude went from a team that's, I mean, obviously he struggled at Green Bay, but the Jets, man, have done everything in their power to make this team. I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, we're talking about the Jets. People are laughing at the Jets. Now people are scared of the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers has a lot to do with that. I mean, he's going 105th overall in half-point PPR drafts, and he's the 17th quarterback off the board. I think his floor is 15, top 15 quarterback. That's his floor. His ceiling, we know, is number 1 on the year. He's been there. So get you some Aaron Rodgers on your team. I really think you won't regret it. It's such a late round draft pick. It doesn't, even if it doesn't work out for you, it's not going to kill you, and it most likely is going to benefit your team quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And he's falling so late in drafts. People are laughing at people who are drafting Aaron Rodgers higher than usual. But last year I know was a little rough. We saw his accuracy take a dip, which is something that he was super known for in his years, but he still threw for 3,600 yards, which was, you know, closer to 4,000 than some quarterbacks. Only 25 touchdowns. We did see them run the ball more, but I love Aaron Rodgers coming over. They gave him some weapons. He's got a couple of his guys just in case things get crazy. He has people to rely on. Get you Aaron Rodgers in the late rounds, and get you a good undervalued quarterback.
Without a doubt.
Let's keep it moving, keep it going. Somebody else who, maybe when you think about the Jets, you might think about this guy, but he is no longer a New York Jet, and that is Elijah Moore. Over there in Cleveland, Elijah Moore, another one of these guys that we really thought was going to, break out last year. It didn't quite happen the way we wanted it to, but now he's on the Cleveland Browns. He's got Deshaun Watson over there with a full season, off season with his guys. Elijah Moore is going to come in there and he's going to do things, man. He's going to help that offense. I think having Amari Cooper on the other side is also going to help get those targets to him. I think Elijah Moore is a great pickup in your drafts, Trey.
Yeah, definitely. And, Elijah Moore being on this team, I think is really going to surprise people. I know Amari Cooper's great, but all the other receivers on this team, I mean, you heard it from Deshaun Watson last year. These guys, he struggled to get him the ball. And some of these guys just aren't meeting expectations. I know Donovan Peoples-Jones has spurts here and there, but Elijah Moore is more of a consistent receiver. And I think he's going to get more of that, first down kind of action. But that's enough if it's continuous and consistent to get a lot of fantasy value out of him. I definitely think you should get this guy late, and he'll be on your bench. Obviously, you probably won't start him the first week, but I think you're going to be surprised at how he performs in those first couple of weeks, and you're going to end up starting him. And moving on to our last player on our board, it is Jahan Dotson. Now, we've already talked a little bit about the Commanders and all the changes they're doing there. This dude's going 86 overall in half-point PPR leagues. Dotson lost 5 games to a hamstring injury as a rookie, yet he still managed 523 yards and 7 touchdowns as a rookie in 12 games. He's the wide receiver 2 on his team. They got a lot of different scheme changes and everything going on. There's a lot of greatness in this kid, and I really think he is also one of those second-year breakouts that you're going to want in the later rounds to have on your team.
Absolutely. I love me some Jahan Dotson. I liked him in his rookie season. He had flashes here and there of really exciting points in his thing. And that was with Carson Wentz or whoever, Taylor Heineke throwing to him, just random guys. I think Jahan Dotson with Sam Howell over there, who is also on this list, I really like him. I like Jahan Dotson coming out, and I'm going to be grabbing him up, man, in those later rounds because he's being completely overlooked, Trey.
Without a doubt. And look, guys, obviously you want to know who to draft in the early parts of your leagues, and we're going to get to that later. But you got to realize that just because you grab those top guys, something could happen to them, and they're not going to win your league. So you don't want to get to the 6th round of your draft and just auto pick or just be like whatever and not know who to look for. These are the guys you need to be looking for. These are the guys that are going to help you win your league. And whenever something happens to one of those top guys on your team, you're going to know where to look, and you're going to know where you found them right here at the 4th and flex, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some golden nuggets we're giving you over here, man. So look for these guys when you're getting in the later rounds, like Trey said. And guys, also look for that like button. It's down there. hit that bad boy for us, man. Means a lot to us, helps us out so much. We are growing over here, man, and we want to be a part of this stuff over here. And if you want to jump in and be a part right now, we are on Patreon, man. Go over to patreon.com/4thandflex and you can become a member of our family. We're going to help you with your team. You're going to get one-on-one with us, man. You're going to be in our Discord channel where all kinds of exciting things are happening. Get over there, guys, and become part of the family.
Without a doubt, we want you to be a part of the Flex family. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's get them flexaholics over here, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, I always tell you this, but we got merch. We got shirts. We got hats. Anything I can put a logo on, I am going to slap that bad boy on there, guys. Another thing down in the description below, man, get down there and get a hat or even a sticker, man. Just support your boys over here at Fourth and Flex. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
No doubt.
Thank you guys so much for watching the show today, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace out.
I think he's going to surprise people. Matter of fact, I'm adding him to this list. Baker Mayfield.
I'm sure he'll have 2 or 3 games where he is a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
Brace yourself and hold on tight as we break tackles and stiff arm our way to a fantasy championship. Bring on the big fellas.
Are you ready? Let's go!
We are back. Welcome back to the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Bandy. That's Trey. And the time is now, buddy. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Doing good, man. Excited for some running backs, man. It's about time we got into these big, hefty guys we love talking about.
That's right, buddy. That's right. We are going through our running back rankings for the 2023 season. We're counting down from 10 to 1. But the thing is, my list is different than Trey's list. So let us know down in the comments, who do you think is better by the end of this bad boy? But before we get into those running back rankings, we got to hear from our friends over at Manscaped. Attention fantasy football fanatics, as draft season approaches, don't neglect the most important draft pick of all, your game balls. We all know how injuries can ruin a season, so let Manscaped take care of that Reggie Bush of yours with their skin-safe technology. This should guarantee you have a smooth ride into the playoffs. The leader in below the waist grooming have created a championship lineup with the Performance Package 4.0, and it's time for you to do the same. Join 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by going to manscaped.com using promo code SUPERFLEX20. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping, Trey.
Without a doubt. And don't forget, the Lawnmower 4.0 has that 4000K LED light on there for those hard to reach places. That thing is brighter than Bryce Young's future in the end zone.
Heck yeah, buddy. Heck yeah. But we are here. We are here, and it is that time to go through our running back rankings. Yes, sir. Going through our running backs. I'm so excited to do this, buddy. I'm so excited. I think I'm just going to go ahead and kick us off here. Starting in at my number 10 in my rankings, and it may surprise a few people, but maybe not others. That is Saquon Barkley coming in at number 10. Listen, okay, look, Saquon got his bag. He got his money. He's got nothing left to prove, right? He got the money that he needs. Look, he's still going to be top 10. He's still going to be worth a draft pick. I do like Saquon, of course, coming in and doing his thing. I just think he's going to fall a little bit. I mean, God forbid injury happens again, and he misses 6 or 7 games, and he falls right there in the 10 spot.
Yeah, man. I understand. I'm glad you got him in your top 10. I got him just a little higher up, but we can talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, Saquon Barkley at 10. Okay, we'll have to see what the rest of your list turns out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, it's definitely possible.
My number 10 on this list, which a lot of people I've actually seen have him higher. I barely got him in the top 10, just squeezed him in there. That is the man, Tony Pollard. Got him there at number 10. Okay. He's got the quickness. He's got the moves, the agility on the field. Ezekiel Elliott's no longer at the Cowboys. I do think this team is going to be kind of more of a pass first team this year. That's why I have him so low, because I do think that if they were a run first type team, Tony Pollard could go crazy. I do know that he struggles with too much volume, or he did last year. So that's one of the reasons I have him a little bit lower, but I do think this dude is going to produce massively, especially for fantasy. And that's why I got him at 10.
Okay, yeah, I like it. I mean, I could see it. Number 10, I myself also have Tony Pollard on my list. I'm not going to tell you where he's at. Obviously, he's not in my number 10 slot, but yeah, I mean, Tony Pollard is going to be the guy over there on the Cowboys. I mean, I've heard talks of them bringing Zeke in again, maybe having him have kind of back up, do a little less work, take less money, whatever. But I've also heard Zeke is meeting with the Patriots. So I think that Deuce Vaughn over there is somebody to also look out for. A little short 5'5" dude, but dude can run and make moves. But yeah, I could see it. I like it.
Yeah, I saw the clip of Deuce Vaughn behind the line, and it was like there was a fourth grader out there.
Yeah, dude, he's tiny, bro, tiny. My worry with that guy is injury, but I like Deuce Vaughn as a sneaky, probably undrafted grab. So look out for that.
Yeah, and probably in Dynasty even.
Absolutely, for sure. But let's keep this bad boy rolling in at my number 9 slot on my list. That is Ramondre Stevenson coming in at number 9. I love me some Ramondre. My worry is guys like Zeke, Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt. I think the Patriots are going to end up grabbing one of these guys. We got excited when they let go of Damian Harris. We're like, okay, it's Ramondre's time to cook. But I really think they're going to pick up one of these veterans that are on the wire and come in and probably take some of the work from Ramondre. So I think that's why I got him falling kind of a little lower down at number 9.
Yeah, I had Ramondre on my list at one point. I took him off. I dropped him to 11. I was trying to decide between him and Tony Pollard there. But the only thing that worries me about Ramondre is, Bill Belichick hasn't really been a bell cow type back recently. And I just have a feeling they're going to bring somebody in to take some of that work. And also, Bill Belichick's one of those guys where if the running back messes up, he'll bench him quick. And so that scares me a little bit for Ramondre, knowing that he's been behind Harris. He just kind of stepped up into the light last year. And I want to see, if they bring somebody else in that's going to take over that light, or even if he's in the light, he's going to have somebody taking part of it. So
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. We know that Belichick and them like to run, a committee back there also. So definitely I see it. But just the way Ramondre was last year, I think he's going to come in and do his thing.
for sure, for sure. Um, My number 9 on my list is a guy that I'm heavily drafting in leagues, but it's just hard to put him above some of these other guys. And that is Aaron Jones, baby. Got him in at number 9. I mean, he's obviously going to lose some work to A.J. Dillon, which, is why I have him lower on this list. But, with Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers out of there, he's going to be kind of a safety net, check down city for Aaron Jones, I think. Jordan Love is going to look to this veteran to kind of help him out when he gets in a tough spot. And Aaron Jones is the dude that's going to do it.
For sure. I love me some Aaron Jones. I rode that guy to the championship game last year. But I do have him in at number 11 on my list, which might
There you go.
surprise you. But I just think I see it. It makes perfect sense that they're going to just feed him the ball. But from what I saw last year, they really, really tried hard to keep A.J. Dillon fed, especially towards the end of the season. And that's kind of why I have Aaron Jones kind of dropping to 11 for me.
I can dig it.
Absolutely. We're moving right along, baby. I love it. Let's get to number 8 on my list. A guy that surprised many folks last year, probably wasn't in anybody's top 10 last year, but I got him here this year. And that is Josh Jacobs coming in at number 8. Josh Jacobs, if he plays, I mean, there's all that craziness. They're not in win now mode like the Giants were. And I believe that's why they paid Saquon. So that's kind of why I got Jacobs falling a little bit in my rankings.
Yeah, I actually don't have Josh Jacobs in my top 10 because of all of the outside of the league stuff. He's already come out and said that he's willing to sit the whole season before if he doesn't get paid. And I don't think they really care to pay him. So I bumped him down, into the 13th spot there. And I worry about it, man. Out of all the running backs that are fighting right now, Josh Jacobs scares me the most.
Watch him come in and just still do his thing and tear it up.
Maybe. My number 8 on my list. I went back and forth with these numbers. It's so hard to fit these guys in the right spots, but I got my main man Joe Mixon at number 8.
Okay.
He would be higher on this list, but I think that after the second half of the season, the Bengals moved more to a pass first type offense. So I like that for them to continue that at the beginning of the year. But Joe Mixon, he got paid. He's the back on this team. They don't have P. Ryan anymore. I mean, he's going to get almost all of the carries in the backfield. And he had a 5 touchdown game last year. I mean, those kind of guys, those are top 10 numbers. I know it was only 1, but touchdowns are touchdowns and they matter. And if you got a running back that can get 5 in a game, he's going to get a lot all year anyway.
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, I don't know anybody who had Mixon last year who didn't win that week when he just went off, man. So, yeah, I like Joe Mixon on my list, on your list there, man. I don't have him in my top 10. I got him coming in at number 12. Yeah, but I love the take. I love it. I mean, I could see it either way,
No doubt.
Let's keep it moving. Let's move to my guy coming in at number 7. And we kind of talked about him a little bit already. That is Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's the guy. Okay. I said earlier, they might bring Zeke or one of those guys back. If they don't, I feel like Tony Pollard is able to get the amount of volume that he needs to get to at least come in at number 7. We know he gets gassed, so that's a little something I'm worried about, and that's why I don't have him a little higher on my list.
Yeah, man, I can dig 7. I just there's those other guys, Aaron Jones, Mixon. I just feel like they're gonna finish a little higher. But yeah, Tony Pollard, I like it. I like how we're not exactly on the same page, but they're all around about the same area.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My number 7 on my list, however, it hurts me to put him at number 7 because I love this guy, but
I
there's
know
just
it
some
is.
better guys. And number 7 on my list is Jonathan Taylor.
Ooh. Okay, okay.
Now that might be a hot take. Some people are saying that he's done for. After last year, but I think that he has a comeback season. This team, with their new rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson, I think it's going to cycle their offense through Richardson and Taylor specifically. And I think Taylor's going to get the bulk of that. They're not going to push Richardson to the point where he's going to get hurt. And Taylor's going to be that safety net in this situation. They don't have a lot of receiver options on this team. Jonathan Taylor can do everything on the field. He just got to stay healthy. And I think that he can do that this year. I think that puts him at the 7 spot.
At the 7 with Jonathan Taylor. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and just move on straight to my number 6 guy because that is also Jonathan Taylor coming
Wow.
in at number 6.
I'm
Okay.
surprised that I had him lower than you.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, it's for the same reasons though. I think that there's going to be a little learning curve with Anthony Richardson there. That would make you think that the Colts would just keep handing the ball off and handing the ball off. But I think it's just going to be it's going to take a little time for them to get on the same page, and for that reason, I think that's why I'm going to have him come in at number 6.
Yeah, and I actually had Jonathan Taylor at 6 and last minute bumped him to 7, moved 7 up. While we're here, we're going to bring him up. My number 6 on my list, Bijan Robinson, baby. Rookie Bijan. I got him at number 6 on my list. A lot of people, I've seen people have him at number 1 this year. I don't think it's going to be that type of explosion, but I do think he's going to be a top 10 running back. The only thing that scares me is Tyler Algier is still there, and he is still a good running back. Now, I know this team is a run-heavy offense, so there's going to be enough room for both of them to eat. But you also got Desmond Ridder, who's going to eat on the ground a little bit. So that's the only thing that scares me, is that there's a little bit of spotlight going to be taken away from him. Outside of that, Bijan Robinson is obviously, a first-round rookie running back compared to Saquon in his first couple years. So he's going to be great, and he's definitely going to be top 10. I got him at 6.
I like it. I like it. I mean, I got him on my list too. We're gonna get to him, here in a minute. But yeah, no, I could see it. It makes sense. I mean, we want it to be so bad. We want Bijan to take that spot so bad. That's kind of what scares me a little bit about having him super, super high and keeping him putting him at number 1.
It's scary, but I think he's got the juice.
Exactly. I agree. But let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going, buddy. We're flying through these bad boys. Coming in at my number 5. It's a guy that has been higher in years past. So that guy is Derrick Henry. Coming in at number 5, Derrick Henry, the man with the crown. A lot of talk about D-Hop coming in. D-Hop coming in. It's going to open up the field for Henry. They can't be stacking the box on your Henry like they did to him last year because they didn't have any threats out there in the field. Now they got Traylon and D-Hop running around out there. That's going to give Henry more room to run, and that's why I'm still keeping him like in my top 5.
Yeah, man, I like it. I have Henry higher on my list than top 5. But you know what? Everything you said is exactly why. I'll talk a little bit more about it here in a little bit. But my number 5 on my list is probably going to shock the world. It was really tough, but it's a strong hot take, but it's just the way I see it. And my number 5 on my list is Christian McCaffrey. Number 5. Okay, and let me tell you why. Number 1, first of all, These guys that finished the top in the top 2 or 3 the year before, it's not always reproduced. And with Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell is healthy now, and Elijah Mitchell, when he is healthy, takes 50% of the snaps on this team. You got Kyle Shanahan, who's the running back nightmare for fantasy owners. I mean, this dude will swap in and out running backs all over the place. I still think that Christian McCaffrey is going to get it in the PPR aspect. And he's going to be as great as he is. I just think that Elijah Mitchell is going to take enough work to knock him down the list a little bit.
Okay. That is a little bit of a juicy hot take. I like it. But the problem is Elijah Mitchell can never stay healthy. He played 5 games last year, and in those 5 games he did so Christian McCaffrey ran about 10 and a half runs while Elijah Mitchell was in. He did about 15 carries when he wasn't in the game. So I get it. If Elijah's there, his production is going to fall.
And sure, Elijah Mitchell, is injury prone, but same thing can go for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, no doubt. He stayed healthy last year, and we loved him for it.
Definitely. That's why everybody's hyped up on him this year, and I worry about those people, man. Just give me. That's why I'm taking wide receiver round 1, and I ain't even gonna.
So let me ask you this: first pick of the draft, you got it. Who you taking? Regular, half PPR?
Justin Jefferson, baby.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, okay. Safe. Play it safe. I get it. I
Playing
like
it safe. That's how I'm feeling this year.
Let's keep it going, buddy. Let's get to my number 4 on my list, and that's Austin Eckler. Coming in at number 4. Last year, he got 13 touchdowns. He had 107 receptions. We're talking about our rankings here with Eckler. I mean, he's in my top 5, 100%. He's going to produce. He's going to do his thing. I just think there's a few guys ahead of him that I feel like I could count on more to get more carries.
Yeah, I can dig it. I got Eckler, on my list a little bit higher than 4, but I'll get to that here in a second. Jump into my 4 real quick.
Okay.
You're 10, Saquon Barkley, baby. Got him at the 4 spot. Okay, he got his bag. Okay, this team lacks heavily in the receiver room. You saw last year. I mean, Barkley was basically the offense. And it's another year past injury. I mean, this dude is an amazing running back. You saw what he did in his rookie season. Yes, I know he's injury prone, but last year he played 16 out of 17 games and had 1,600 total yards with 10 touchdowns. I mean, I really think Saquon Barkley is going to step up and be the Giants offense, and the volume alone on top of his skill is why I have him at number 4.
Okay, I could see it for sure. I could see it. My only issue with Saquon having him that high on the list is last year he started off hot. Boy, he got in there, he did his thing, he tore it up. But as the season progressed, he kind of lost some of the juice, and I think that's probably why I got him a little lower on my list.
Well, and not only did he lose some of the juice, they lost all of their receivers. I mean, they had 5 or 6 receivers on IR, and they were just playing with, college and like high school kids out there. And so they knew Barkley was going to get the ball. And when you take that many hits and they just keep coming, it gets tiresome. So hopefully they get a little bit more talent in there and get everybody a little bit more healthy, so that way it can open up some space for him.
For sure, buddy, for sure. But yeah, I like it, man. I love it. Let's go to my number 3 on my list. Bringing it up. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Number 3 coming in, Bijan Robinson. Coming in at number 3, old Bijan. Hey, I didn't have him at number 1. Look, again, I want him to do well so bad. I'm trying to be modest here, put him at 3. I think he's going to catch a lot of balls in the outfield. They're going to use him as a receiving back. They're going to use him as a big running back. They're going to use this guy. I was looking at some of the records this guy set last year. Texas school record for yards per carry in a game, 19.1. Third in Texas career rushing touchdowns, 33. Fourth in Texas career rushing yards, 3,410. Ninth in Texas career points scored, 246. Tell me this guy doesn't bring this juice to the NFL, and that's why I got him coming in at number 3.
I can dig it. I can dig it. It just scares me. So I had to move him just a little bit down, a little further down. But my number 3 is your number 4, Austin Eckler. Got him right there at the 3 spot. I mean, he's a PPR monster. Obviously, last year he had over 100 receptions. I do think that this team is gonna Herbert's gonna step it up, and it's gonna be more of a passing offense. But like I said, Eckler's a PPR monster. I just don't know if there'll be as many checkdowns. I really think this team's going to be a more high octane, deeper passing offense. Outside of that, Eckler's going to put in the work. Obviously, he still has contract issues as well. It just doesn't scare me near as much as Josh Jacobs. And so that's why I got Eckler at 3.
Okay, okay. I see it. I can see it. Well, let me ask you this. Would it surprise you that if I told you that Austin Eckler didn't rush for 1,000 yards last year?
No, it wouldn't. Outside of that's why he's a PPR monster. He was top or number 1 in full point PPR and running back because of the receptions. I mean, that's kind of that's what this dude does. He's not going to get 1,000 on the ground every year, but he's still going to put up the points.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Would it surprise you if I told you that Austin Eckler hasn't had 1,000-yard rushing season ever?
That would surprise me a little bit, but it's still that's pretty exciting, honestly, to me. It's like, then pay him like a wide receiver. What are you doing?
Exactly. No, I love it. I love Austin Eckler. Like you said, PPR, half PPR. He is your guy. I've drafted him number 1, and then so many mock drafts that we've done. I love Eckler. I love him.
Yeah, and actually, like I was saying, Justin Jefferson, I would probably take him 1 in full PPR, but half PPR, I might lean more towards Eckler, but I would take Eckler over Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion.
Okay. I like it. Okay, let's get to my number 2 on my list. Another guy that is a little lower on your list. Coming in at my number 2 slot, Christian McCaffrey. Coming in at number 2, okay? Look, I know, like we talked about, Elijah Mitchell, yada, 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 but this is another guy that's kind of your half PPR monster. Christian McCaffrey's another one of those pass-catching backs that's going to get you what you need to get. He did only rush for 746 yards and only 6 touchdowns last year, but he did get 52 receptions for the 49ers. That's all 49ers, by the way. We know he started a couple games Panther. Either way, Christian McCaffrey is going to do what you need him to do, and that's why I got him at number 2 on this
I love
list.
it, man. I'm actually surprised you have him at number 2. It's weird. I think we have the same number 1 on our list, which is pretty awesome, I think. But real quick, I'm going to jump into my number 2. He's a little further down your list. But that's the man, Derrick Henry, baby. King Henry at number 2 on the year. I'm calling it. Okay, we know what he's made of. I mean, this dude, what was it? The season that he got hurt, he was on a run to break every record there is for a running back. People say he's on a decline. I think he was just recovering from injury. I mean, he's 30 years old. This dude is a monster. He's gonna run through people. I mean, they literally had at the practice the other day. They went around and they said, "How many 12-year-olds will it take to tackle Derrick Henry?" And it started out, dude was like 30, and then dude was like 1,000, and then one dude was like all of them. And then they asked Derrick Henry, and he said, "Y'all don't want to act that out."
You don't want to hurt no little kids,
Right?
Well, you heard it here first. Trace says the king has returned.
Without a doubt. I want luck, but let's say our number 1 at the same time.
Okay.
Because if it's not the same person, I'm going to be blown away that this dude's not on your list.
Okay. All right. Coming in at number 1 is
Nick Chubb.
Let's
go.
Yes, sir. Nick Chubb coming in at number 1 on our list. Tell him why, Trey.
Look, okay, the Browns lost Kareem Hunt. Starting off there, he's going to get more groundwork. Nick Chubb literally was number 1 in standard leagues last year. Only reason Austin Eckler beat him because he's a PPR monster. This team is going to have a better offense, which is going to open up more room for Nick Chubb. I mean, he's going to get 300 touches on the year. This dude is going to be a monster, and I cannot wait.
Absolutely. Nick Chubb has not He has not went under 1,000 yards since his rookie season, which was 996 yards. So he was 4 yards shy of hitting that 1,000 over. I mean, that's something right there, buddy. Last year, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns. Got in there a little bit in the passing game, a little bit, 27 receptions. Nick Chubb is the man. He gets slept on every single year. If you're not drafting Nick Chubb, it's a mistake. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, man, Nick Chubb's just that boring guy. You know, everybody wants Bijan Robinson, and Nick Chubb is. I mean, you know that he can do it. He did it last year. Just take Nick Chubb.
Exactly. I mean, look, I love, what I love about Nick Chubb. He just reminds me of like that old school Jim Brown. I don't need no pads on my arm, bro. I like to get scraped up. I like to bleed a little bit. You know what I mean? I love me some Nick Chubb.
Taste that blood, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. He liked the way it tastes,
like, I like the way it tastes, just salty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh man, that was fun.
Yeah, man. I can't believe we had Nick Chubb. Both of us had Nick Chubb at number 1. That's awesome.
It's funny because we talked about this off air and you said, I'm pretty sure our number 1s are going to be different.
Yeah, I really thought they were, because I was thinking you would either have CMC or Bijan or Eckler, maybe. I mean, Nick Chubb, hey, great minds think alike.
You already know. We got wide receivers coming up next here. So if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can get our wide receivers. We did the quarterbacks last week. Wide receivers are on deck. Man, we're getting close, buddy. We're getting close to the end of the season. I'm excited.
You mean the beginning?
I mean, we're getting close, buddy. We're getting close to the beginning of the season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's almost here, and I am ready for some fantasy football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But guys, don't forget to check us out over on Patreon. We have a Patreon now. Go over there, patreon.com/4thAndFlex. Get in a group chat with us. You can get on our you can get in there and ask us questions personally. We're going to help you with our teams, review your teams. We're going to help get you to the playoffs. So go over to patreon.com, become a part of the family, be a flexaholic with us. I love it. And always don't forget that we got merch, baby. We got those. We got them. We got some of those. We got shirts, hats, mugs, all that good stuff. Check us out. Go down in the description. We got merch. Get you some for sure. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace out.
All right. It's never too early to play holiday music. And it's never too early to start thinking about gifts. Whether it's for a friend or the friend in your pants, make this a season to be jolly with Manscaped. Do your little drummer boy a favor and use the Lawnmower 4.0 to avoid another silent night in the bedroom. Then, add in Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower products to have the people thinking, all I want for Christmas is you. Now, Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Look nice when you get naughty by going to manscaped.com. Use code SUPERFLEX20 for 20% off and free shipping. Ho, ho, ho. Holy crap, that's a good deal. We'll see you there. We're talking Superflex strategies in a Superflex mock draft with a special guest. Stay tuned.
Are you ready?
We are back. Welcome back to the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Bandy. That's Trey. And the time is now. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? It's Superflex time. That's my favorite time of the draft.
Superflex. Yes. Man, mock draft season. It's starting to hit hard. You're starting to see the content from everywhere pop out. And I love it, Trey. I love it.
No doubt. We got some guys in here. We got this draft. We're getting it started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But before we get going, guys, we got to thank our friends over at Manscaped. Guys, Manscaped has got the best products when it comes to below the waist grooming. It's the summertime. You're hairy, you're smelly. Nobody wants to cuddle up to that. So, guys, go to manscaped.com. Use our promo code SUPERFLEX20. You're going to get 20% off and you're going to get free shipping. Where's that free shipping, Trey?
Worldwide.
You're darn right, guys. Check out Manscaped, man. Big supporter of the show. We really need to get this thing started. Before we get started, we have a special guest for the show. Please welcome in Bayou Bangle 25. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you guys having me on. Super excited for the Superflex draft. It's gonna be a fun one, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. I'm ready, boy. Let's pop it up. Let's get it going.
Shuffle.
All right. I'm gonna randomize this bad boy. Random and
Oof.
Where am I at?
Ooh.
Okay, I'm hanging out at the back. Let's go. All right.
Bengal got number 2 spot.
Number 2 for Bangle in a super flex
Championship.
So we talk. No kidding. Usually the first 1 through 6 spots, I'd say, is generally Tua Tagovailoa goes
What
number
the-
1. Okay, now you got your
Okay,
pick of the
interesting.
litter, buddy.
Oh, you already know.
I think I do know.
Why is it not? Oh,
Wait,
phew.
Oh,
my,
yeah.
my homeboy number 2. I mean, if Tua is your guy, right, and you're in the number 1 spot, I mean, I kind of get that. If you really think he's going to be the guy this year, he's definitely not going to make it back to you at the 212. So if you really want Tua, I guess you're going to get Tua, right?
Maybe so. Jalen Hurts goes at the 4. That feels like value. I would have took Hurts over Allen in my personal opinion.
Yeah. What do you think, Bayou?
Man, I just don't see a world where I get it when you got to take your guys, you got to love it. 2 at 1, Hurts at number, well, should be number 3. I would definitely take Hurts over Burrow and Herbert, and in some cases, I mean, I've seen Hurts go over Allen in a super flex. So
Yeah. I have 2. I have absolutely 2. It is my turn. I need to get a good quarterback. When it comes to Superflex, I'm a big guy when it comes to starting with your quarterback, especially if you're in the 1 through 6 slot. I'm a little bit later, but we had a couple skill guys come off the board. So I think Lamar or Justin Fields, either one of these 2 guys is a good pickup to start your team off strong. What do you think, Trey?
Yeah, I like that. I was looking there and I was thinking about Lamar, and I was like, you know what? If I take Lamar here, I'm not the biggest Lamar fan, but I was looking at him, and then I was like, you know what? I'm at the 7 spot. McCaffrey's there. Just got to take him.
Yeah, no, I see it. We got CM popping in the comments. Yo, I'm here. I'll just catch the live stream tonight. Thank you, buddy. Don't forget to hit that like button for us. You know how much that means to us. Nate Davis says, considered it. What do you think he's talking about? What do you consider? What, taking Tua? Is that him?
I don't know.
Oh, man. So Bayou, what do you think, buddy? Superflex, what do you got for us? A strategy you'd like to come at is in the first round or two?
Yeah, my biggest thing especially for the first round is I would say, don't really get caught up in the quarterback runs, right? I'm a strong advocate of you really want value, not necessarily like the next quarterback on the list. If we look at the last 10 quarterbacks last season, you're talking about Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Fields. None of them were a first round quarterback last season. So if you're in the top probably 4, 5, 6 picks, your Mahomes, your Allen, your Hurts and stuff, that's fine. But just because if you're drafting maybe 7th or 8th, just like Trey did, he grabbed Christian McCaffrey instead of going on the trend of getting your Lawrence or getting your Jackson. He would feel good, go ahead and get your starting running back, and then go ahead maybe in the 2nd, 3rd, possibly getting your quarterbacks then or something like that. But I just don't get on the trend just because everybody's taking a quarterback and you're sitting at 7 and 8. You don't necessarily have to go quarterback. So
Absolutely. No, and that's great to let people know. Following the trends, that's something we see a lot. People start seeing those quarterbacks start coming off the board. They start to freak out. They're like, I'm not going to get one if I don't get one right here. But there is still some guys, if you don't get, like I said, I think there's like 6 quarterbacks, kind of elite guys that I feel like in the top 6, you should probably be taking 7th in some cases, because when a skilled guy goes in there and takes the slot, I just, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
This is a tough spot for me right here.
Oh, what is he gonna do? Zach popping in the comments. What it do, Zach? Always coming by.
Ooh,
Pop
with
over.
1 second left.
Grabbing him some AJ Brown. That's a good start right there, man. Still some decent quarterbacks on the board too. So
guess who I was looking at? The hardest decision was between is AJ Brown and Jonathan Taylor, and then boom, right after that, Jonathan Taylor goes.
He goes. He's going a little later, but you got to remember Superflex. Everything seems to be around ahead. So if your ADP is round 1 for some guys, such as McCaffrey, he's probably going to be generally falling in the 2nd round or something like that after people start going nuts with those quarterbacks.
One thing I was going to say is one of the reasons why I went Christian McCaffrey is because I'm a strong believer in getting a guy. A safe guy is the best way to explain it in the first round, but just a guy that is going to commit to your team and be one of your heavy hitters on your team. And so it's scary for me to go for a guy like Lamar Jackson, who with injuries and he's got the MVP and everything like that, and he's decent for fantasy, but it's just a worry for me this year, and I don't want to waste my first round pick on a worry. I'd rather have somebody that I know is going to be consistent, outside of injury. Absolutely,
yeah. Bayou, you agree?
Yeah, I agree with most of it. What a lot of people may not have heard of yet is the head coach is actually talking to the offensive coordinator and allowing Lamar Jackson to now call his own plays and his own audibles. Ooh. So even though there may be a different system, Lamar Jackson wants to show that he can throw the football, and they've added people to this offense like Zay Flowers, and they've added Odell Beckham Jr. And I think that he's going to be able to maybe open up a little bit if he can tack on 200 to 250 yards passing per game, along with that 80 to 90 yards rushing per game. You're looking at Lamar Jackson can possibly be putting up 35, 40 fantasy points consistently week in and week out, and can completely blow the doors off of fantasy football this season.
Thank you, Bayou Bengal. I've been saying this to nausea almost. I've been just real high on Lamar, and Trey has kind of fought me a little bit on it. And I love Zay Flowers, man. I really wanted Zay Flowers to go to my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That didn't happen, but Lamar's got weapons, man. He's got weapons, and he's got
an injury history, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's where my thing is. All that sounds great and it sounds believable. It's just that every time I hear that Lamar is finally finna do his thing, it doesn't happen. So it just scares me to death to look that direction.
Okay, but he's never had the kind of weapons that he has now. He's never had the receiving core that he has now. I didn't hear about him being able to call his own plays. That makes me a little bit nervous, honestly. I just, Lamar likes to run the ball a lot, and I don't know, man. 6,000 yards, he says he's going to be throwing this year, buddy.
We're going to see.
Yes, we are. And like I said, I'm trying something a little different here on my board here. I got me a good quarterback at the top. I figured I'd get me a skill player, and then I end up getting Kirk Cousins, who, okay, it is Kirk Cousins, but he's got Justin Jefferson over there, and Justin Jefferson's going to make points, and Kirk Cousins going to make points. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that. I went ahead and grabbed me some Aaron Rodgers. You know, I passed up on Cousins. I think Rodgers is a little bit deeper in drafts than he should be. I just think that his fantasy output. I think the Jets in general, their points per game is going to increase dramatically with Aaron Rodgers. Every year I've never been an Aaron Rodgers fan for fantasy, but this is a year I feel like he's going to put up points worth top 10 relevancy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally see that. I got a question for you, Bayou. A lot of talk about Bijan Robinson this year, going in the first round of a lot of drafts. Me and Trey have talked about this. I'm just kind of wondering your thoughts on Bijan going in the first round. Do you trust doing something like that? Or
I absolutely trust doing something like that. I mean, he's going to a Falcons offense who was the second in the NFL in rushing. So it's when you have that 1-2 punch combo, we have to remember that in college in Texas, Bijan Robinson actually was with Roschon Johnson, so he wasn't the main ball carrier, and it's going to be the same thing in the NFL, which just makes him have a longer shelf life, in my opinion. He's not going to have to be on the field for all 3 downs because he has Tyler Algier also going to be filling in for him. So I think he's at a perfect opportunity to succeed. He's on a young team, somebody that's going to give him the ball quite a bit, and I think he'll probably be the number 1 or number 2 fantasy running back this season.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. I mean, he's been falling to me a lot in the first round, and they say that the your fantasy team can be ruined in the first round, but it's never won. So it kind of scares me to take him in the first round.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's definitely a risk, but I think he's a risk worth taking. If you check out our video that we posted recently about our top 10 risks worth taking, we talk a little bit about Bijan in there. So maybe go check it out for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got a top 10 list of guys, the risk worth taking. Check it out. I'll link it in the description. It's a good one. It's a banger, if I do say so myself. And guys, of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Tommy popping in, Aaron Jones. Yes, sir. And he says, "What up, fam?" Tommy, what's up, buddy?
What up, Tommy?
Man, so Trey, super flex style. What's the way you like to come at these, buddy?
So, a lot of times it really depends on where I'm drafting from. This year, I really want, when it comes down to the real deal, I want one of those top 5, top 6 spots. Just the way it looks this year, those guys can get a 1-2 hit in those first 2 picks. That it looks like the 6 through 12 really isn't going to be able to touch on the way the 1 through 6 can. So those are the spots I'm kind of leaning towards. Now, obviously, it's random, so you just got to cross your fingers and hope for the best. But I really think those first 6 spots already have an immediate advantage in drafts this year.
Absolutely, I agree. Anthony Richardson in the 5th, Trey. Looks like your boy's rising in ADP, buddy. Getting nervous about that?
Just a little. But that's okay, because the guy I was looking at for my second quarterback is still on the board.
That's
and
good.
I'll just take him.
Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, you got an old guy quarterback team. You think those guys are going to be able to push it this year?
I promise you right now, Russell Wilson is going to be such a better quarterback this year with a new coach. And Jerry Jeudy, I don't know if you looked at the stats for Jerry Jeudy on the last half of last year, but he was on the rise. I think that continues into this year. And with Jerry Jeudy being good, Russell Wilson's going to have to be the one to get in the ball. I like Russell Wilson a lot as a QB2 in fantasy this year.
Ooh, big words. Russell Wilson's coming up this year. I hope you're right, man. If not, I don't know, man, if anybody's gonna pick him up. I feel like the Broncos and Sean Payton, if he gets a year of like they got last year, I think he'd be done with Russell Wilson, not even with that big contract. D-Hop off the board without a team, but hey, it's D-Hop. He'll land on his feet somewhere. Any idea where D-Hop might be landing? I've heard Cleveland before. What have you heard, Bayou?
I mean, we all knew he went to Tennessee and he had an appointment with them. He didn't end up striking any type of deal with them. Didn't look too good. Last he went to the Patriots. Patriots are looking at him right now. It's funny that he's even taken these visits with the Titans and the Patriots, because he said he wants to be with a team with a stellar defense and a chance to win, and neither one of those teams, in my opinion, have a chance. I think he needs to either go to the Chiefs, which I think would be an absolutely phenomenal play, or, I mean, the Chiefs is really where I wanted to go. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that would just be a phenomenal feat to go with that. Other than that, the Jets already said they don't want him. So I'm hoping he ends up with the Chiefs because that just would spell Super Bowl all over for Patrick Mahomes.
And that's something that you would like to see a replay of last year. You want to see that all over again?
Might as well.
Come
The
on,
Saints ain't
come
winning
on.
it, so it is
Have
what
you
it is.
ever heard the term embarrassment of riches? They don't need D-Hop. They got enough going on over there.
Well, I know they don't need him.
D-Hop and Patrick Mahomes, it would be amazing.
Beautiful.
It would be amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like it. I think somewhere else. No, not the Chiefs. They don't need any more freaking help over there.
So I reached way down the running back list for my pick, but I feel like he's going to climb quite a bit. He just hadn't made it there yet because of recent news. But Alexander Madison, baby, I'm big stoked.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
hoping he thought of me.
Yeah. And Nate says, I'm the Chiefs community captain for Bleacher Report. No thanks on Hopkins. Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay. I like it.
the washed action.
He is getting a little older, man, but he's still, I think, still top-notch receiver. And as a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, I wouldn't mind getting some Hopkins. But Baker to Hopkins, it just almost feels like a waste. I hate to say it, but it's true. What do you think? Go
I
ahead.
do have a question for you, Bengal.
Yeah.
Because I've been, you're closer to the source, but what do you think about Michael Thomas this year? I mean, are we chasing that train again, or?
Which is funny because I was completely written off the train because number one, I love Chris Olave and I love A.T. Perry, the rookie that they brought in here. I think he's showing really, really good flashes, but it just came out. I think there was a report that came out a couple days ago where Derek Carr said, when I just look at Michael Thomas, I smile. That's some kind of sus stuff. But he said one of the biggest reasons of his decision to coming to New Orleans was because Michael Thomas was there. Michael Thomas was a big recruiter for Derek Carr, and that's the whole reason why he took that cut to have a 1-year prove it type of deal. Okay, I'm just going to go on record and say I think Michael Thomas could be an easy 1,000-yard receiver this season, along with Chris Olave. He has the talent. He just hasn't been able to put it on the field. So as long as he can stay healthy, I think the rapport that they're building right now with Derek Carr is phenomenal.
Has Michael Thomas come off the board yet? Has he come off yet? I was just wondering.
I don't think
He has
so.
a pretty late ADP.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Man, that's interesting. I like that, man. I had no idea about any of that. Dude's on it with them Saints, huh?
That's
your
why I
team,
knew
buddy.
that was the guy to ask. I don't know if you've watched Bengal, but I've said several times I have no doubt the Saints win the division this year.
Oh, it's not even gonna be close. I mean, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Saints fan. There's nobody else in the division that can compete with us right now. I'm not going to say a rookie Bryce Young, definitely not Baker Mayfield. And what is it going to be? We got Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke. It doesn't matter. Derek Carr has the more experience. We have the best defense, other than maybe Carolina. I just think we're going to be stellar. So
yeah, it's going to be stacked, especially with Olave's second-year breakout. I'm so excited him for fantasy. Every time it comes around to him, I've already when I think about him, he's already gone. Basically, is how it comes in drafts for me with Olave.
You know what? Just hating on my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going on record right now. Say Baker Mayfield is a top 10 quarterback.
Oh God!
I hope.
Somebody write that down.
No, don't write that down. I mean, if it happens, yeah, I called that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's looking rough.
Who's he competing with? Is it Trask, right?
Kyle Trask.
Yeah, and I watched a video the other day where they were like the Baker Mayfield Trask competition, and both of them are just overthrowing, underthrowing.
I saw that too.
No connected passes anywhere. It's tough, man.
That was like a fake, right? That was a fake out video.
Deep fake.
Yeah, deep fake. Just trick photography. They can do anything with the cameras these days. I got to tell you, my team is not turning out the way I like. I got auto-drafted on accident with TJ Hawkinson, and things kind of blew up from there. I mean, it fits well with my team, but I don't know. I'm not hyped about it. Bayou, I love what Bayou's doing over here. Look,
no
he's got
doubt.
Patrick Mahomes, bro. Oh my God, Bayou killing it with the second pick. Grab Patrick Mahomes, then Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Mixon, Dameon Pierce, Pity City, and Chris Godwin. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm trying to because one of my strategies that I was going to talk about too is that you don't have to go robust quarterback all the time. You can have somebody that fits into that second quarterback spot and load up on the other skill positions and still have an advantage on the competition. So that's why I'm saying right here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I think the best quarterback available right now, even though he is a rookie, I'm going to take C.J. Stroud here because they're going to be pretty terrible. And I know I already have Dameon Pierce, but he's probably going to be bench fodder for me anyway for bye weeks and such. And C.J. Stroud's going to be forced to throw the ball early and often. I think that he could be a really good dynamic piece for me here.
So you think C.J. Stroud's going to fantasy wise? Do you think he's going to produce?
Fantasy wise, I think he'll be pretty good. I think he'll throw for anywhere between 28 to 3,200 yards, and he should be pretty well for or pretty good for fantasy.
So not to just grind you out on Saints talk, but have you heard anything extra about the Kamara situation and the suspension and all that?
Good one.
Yes, but I had to auto pick. I forgot it was my pick. Evan Ingram's fine. I don't think Kamara's ever. I think he's done. I think he'll be in prison for 15 years. I think they have video footage of him completely assaulting somebody. I said once this goes down and once it goes to court, there's no way they can exonerate him from any wrongdoing. I mean, he's already going to probably plead guilty, and he's going to serve some type of time. You can't do something like that and still play. I think, if people are getting suspended for an entire year for betting $25 on DraftKings, there's no way that he gets. I think.
And so, what does that mean for Jamal Williams? Is he going to be the man, or is it the rookie thing?
I think it's going to be absolutely Jamal Williams. I think I do like Andre Miller. I think Peter Miller is going to be a change of pace back. But there's another running back that I believe who ends up being the number one running back next year, and that's he's an undrafted free agent, Sir Roderick Thompson. I think he's a 6-foot running back. He looks really good on his feet. I think he's going to take over to be the main go-to guy in this offense, either within a year or two, I think.
Interesting.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, Jamal, what do you think? He's just he's good with the goal line work, and he's getting a little older.
He's a good back, though.
Yeah, he is good, but do you think he can't hold it down as the main back over there?
I think he can hold it down. I just think that Sir Roderick Thompson is just that good to take over the guy. I mean, he's a special talent.
Interesting. Huh.
I like it.
I do too. I mean, I don't like it for Kamara. I mean, you got to think. I mean, 8 to 10 years. I mean, he does have money, and money does seem to buy your way out of a lot of things. But I could see him being out for a few years, and then you know, is he able to come back after that? I mean,
I doubt it.
You know what I mean? So
you're going to see a Ray Rice situation or something like that, or they're just going to say no, thank you.
And yeah, no team would want any part of that. You know, probably makes sense.
I'm sold.
Taking Jamal Williams. He's
yes,
sold.
Sir.
So do you think so you're saying Kamara doesn't play ever again? Not this year? I mean,
I don't think that's just my opinion. I just don't think he's going to play.
So you heard it here first. Don't take Kamara in your drafts. It will be a wasted pick. I like it. I've been avoiding Kamara at all costs.
Yep.
I did the same thing last year, and it really proved me well. I mean, he had a couple good games, but really wasn't nothing worth looking at. And I'm cool with doing the same thing this year.
Why am I? Oh, I have to turn off auto pick or something.
Yeah.
At the top.
Oh, there it is. Never mind. I got who?
There you go.
AJ Dillon and BJ. Got more running backs.
He's stacked, bro. He's stacked on the running back.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I didn't know I had to turn off auto pick.
Oh yeah, it does that sometimes.
Yeah, it'll at the top it'll be like turn it off. I've done that before where as soon as it auto picks, those 30 seconds, bro, you got to be quick.
Yeah. I'll be in the middle of a sentence and be like, oh. Yeah, the 30 seconds, it goes pretty quick. Elijah Moore in Cleveland now. I see him going at the 11-5. I really think Elijah Moore is going to do something. I mean, Deshaun Watson is supposedly got a year under his belt, ready to go, got an off season with the team. They say big things are going to happen for him. If that's the case, I think Elijah Moore in that wide receiver room is going to do big things. What do you think, Bayou?
Yeah, I think what a lot of people look at, the depth chart, they might see Elijah Moore as the third or fourth wide receiver, but we have to remember who they have on the depth chart. They don't have a slot wide receiver, and that's what they were missing last year. And that's why a big reason why Elijah Moore will fit in. They have, Amari Cooper on the outside, Donovan Peoples-Jones on the outside, and the big rookie they got, Cedric Tillman, I think his name is, from Tennessee.
Mhm.
He's an ex-wide receiver as well. So he's really the only wide receiver that can play the slot, and I think he's going to do really well in fantasy.
Right, and that ADP, what they got him at in the 11th round? I think that's going to be awesome value.
Yeah,
to top it all.
Speaking of getting value in the 11th round, I went ahead with OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., who I am excited for fantasy. I know you think he's going to be kind of more of a spotty player, but I really think that he has a step up and really shows out for a team that is all about showing out.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been my pick if it wasn't for the auto pick.
There you go. Got him.
Again.
Oh, and I'm on the clock. You are distracting me.
Yeah.
That was my goal.
Tell me something, Trey. No. Garoppolo for your third quarterback. I don't think
give me some bench work just, for bye weeks and potential to look at for a little bit here and there. In case, something happens with Russell and it don't work out. I really think it's going to. But
just in case, I get it. Hey, I got a question, Bayou. You seem to be very knowledgeable with all this stuff. What have you heard about Ezekiel Elliott and where he might fall?
To be honest with you, I actually haven't heard anything about Ezekiel Elliott. I have scraped for some news on if he's visited anybody or anything. The only thing that I've heard is the Buccaneers. That's literally the only place I've heard rumored for him.
Same.
And it's been pretty silent. So I'm kind of in the air myself.
I'd heard that the Cowboys were thinking about renegotiating a cheaper contract and just to bring him back in. I really think just to give him a place because they thought he would go somewhere and no one just looked at him. But they feel sorry for because Jerry Jones loves Ezekiel Elliott. They just
that's his son right there, man. He does love Ezekiel Elliott a lot, and I don't know, man. I don't really think we need Zeke over here in Tampa. I don't think I would like that at all. I mean, Zeke has his moments and his flashes, but I just don't think he's that guy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and where were these running backs? All like you got Dalvin Cook, you got oh no. You got Dalvin Cook, you got Ezekiel Elliott. You got these running backs that are have been great running backs in the past. A couple years ago, last year, the year before, when the Ravens, all their running backs were down, there was nobody. I mean, they were just reaching out and grabbing thin air. And now these guys are having a hard time finding a team. I mean, How long do you think it's going to take for Dalvin Cook to find a team? I feel like people would be grabbing at his ankles to get him.
For sure, yeah. I guess I'm gonna take Baker Mayfield just in case he is a top 10 quarterback. Just so I can say I told you.
Call it like you see it.
I do like tight end who's still on the board. I want to ask Bayou this one too. Seems to have all the knowledge. Michael Mayer. I've heard a lot of good things about this guy. Baby Gronk, they're calling him. Michael Mayer for the Las Vegas Raiders. What have you heard?
Yeah, Michael Mayer, he was actually the best run blocking tight end in the whole class itself. He doesn't have as good as hands as other people. He doesn't have a lot of twitch in his hips, which I don't really like for a tight end. But the good part is that because he's such a good run blocker, he's going to be on the field a lot. And when you're on the field a lot for fantasy football, that equals opportunity. Mm-hmm. So it could be something. There's a huge gap left by Darren Waller there. Yep. They're going to need some type of help there. And I think Michael Mayer has the opportunity of making something happen. I do think Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers will probably take over a lot of those reps. But Michael Mayer should be a decent for fantasy. I don't think that he'll be a top 15 tight end, though.
I guess we're going to find out.
No doubt.
Let's see.
And I'm going to take my sleeper tight end right now.
Okay. Tell us about
Woods. Why Jelani Woods?
Are we taking kickers and defenses? Right
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take Justin Tucker.
There you go. Won the league, baby.
Championship.
No doubt. Jelani Woods. What are you hearing about this guy in Indy? You think
Jelani Woods, he is a 6'7" athletic freak running a 4.3 40 in the combine. The dude was doing great. He had Mo Alley Cox and he had Granderson, those two. It was almost like a 3 tight end type of situation. The coaches made it clear that it's now going to be Jelani Woods' team. and you have a 6'7" freak at tight end, you have a freak at quarterback. You put these two things together, you're speaking of red zone monsters. Like, I think Jelani Woods is going to take the league by storm, and he will. And I'm quoting it right now on the fourth and flex. Right now, Jelani Woods is the top 5 tight end for 2023.
Woo! Oh, baby. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I guess, man, Anthony Richardson's going to get over there, and you think he's going to give his guy some targets? Was that what you're thinking?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Richardson does what everyone thinks, he's going to be a Madden player. Like, he can do everything. He's going to be a stupid freak of nature that nobody's going to know how to stop. He's got a Cam Newton in him and some Patrick Mahomes in him. So who knows? I mean, he can be phenomenal.
Oh, man. Trey is super excited about Anthony Richardson, man.
I am. I'm big on Anthony Richardson this year, man. I think, especially in Superflex, I really think at that QB2 spot, it's just a steal because you can get a couple skill players earlier, and I really think it's going to be massive value in that QB2 slot.
Yeah, he did take your Saints.
I did, yeah. No, yeah, that's my go-to this year in down defenses in drafts. So, hate it for you. Sniped.
And Zach says, I like that. Sniped indeed. Sniped indeed. The draft is complete. We are done with the draft. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button while you're watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already. We're giving stuff away at the beginning of the season. Right before week 1, we're going to go ahead and just give a signed jersey away. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, have your notification bell on. You won't be eligible, but you can totally win if you do those things, those simple things, and comment on the video. So don't forget to do that for us, guys.
For sure.
So now we are going to go through these teams 1 through 12, just kind of glance over them. I think it's a little early to be grading teams, but you just go over here and kind of look at them, see what we like, what we don't like about them. Let's start with the first team. Took Tua at 1, then goes Dak Prescott. Actually managed to get a pretty solid team. I think he did get Kamara in the 9th round. What are you thinking about this team, Trey?
Yeah, I mean, obviously 2 in the 1 feels like a mistake. But Devontae Adams, Kenneth Walker, Keenan Allen, solid players for sure. And Miles Sanders is a guy that I'm liking, especially in the 7th round. I don't think he's going to be, this all-out amazing guy, but I think a 7th round running back, I think he's going to fill that value. Looking at some of the other guys here, wide receivers, they got Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Quentin Johnson. I like the Quentin Johnson pick in the 11th round. Mooney, I'm not really, high on. And like I've said before about Mike Evans, it just scares me with what's going on with Baker Mayfield and everything. But Devontae Adams and Keenan Allen, really, honestly, Devontae Adams is probably the best receiver on this team. And the other guys, I would really look somewhere else. I know some people are big on Allen. I just think he's washed, man. And Evans is the same. So it feels a little washed to me. And I think it started with the first pick.
Well, Keenan Allen always does manage to produce. He does always get hurt as well. He is getting older. He's an older guy. So I get that completely. Bayou, what are you thinking about this first team here?
When I looked at it, I saw 5 big question marks, right? Tua, question mark, can he stay healthy? Kenneth Walker, we got Zach Charbonnet, question mark. Devontae Adams, new quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, question mark. Mike Evans, new quarterback, Baker Mayfield, question mark. Alvin Kamara, will he play? Question mark. So I do love Miles Sanders. I think he's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Keenan Allen, when healthy, showing that he can be a top wide receiver in the NFL. Going over as of right now, I would probably wouldn't have taken the Tua. But then again, like you said, if you like your guy, you want your guy, take your guy. Who knows? He could be laughing in our face at the end of the year when Tua has weapons. I mean, he's got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I mean, and possibly even Dalvin Cook. So he's got the weapons to be the number 1 guy. But as of right now, just looking at rankings and things, right now it seems a little silly. But at the end of the league, he could be the one laughing in our face. So
yeah, absolutely. And there's a chance he could have taken one of the elite guys. He could have took Patrick Mahomes, and Tua still might have fell back to him. And that's the thing you got to think about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like if he did want him, I get it. Grab him. I did take Tom Brady, number 1 in a super flex draft last year, and ended up being in the final championship game. So you just never know. I drafted at the 3 spot then and grabbed Tom Brady, but I had to take him or he wouldn't be there. But I just think Tua, had you waited, you could have took Patrick Mahomes and had Tua on your team, because I think he would have came back to you.
and that's scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you got both those guys, that scares me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. No kidding. Let's move on to Bayou Bengals team. It's a monster. It's a freaking monster team, dude. I think this one's in the championship game. I mean, if you play it right and your guys stay healthy, look at that running back run there, dude. Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Dameon Pierce, right there, bro. That's at the very least a playoff team just from that right there.
No doubt. Plus, you got Mahomes, just icing on the cake. Amazing quarterback and for fantasy, especially super flex. And then you got CJ Stroud, and that's okay because even if he doesn't produce to the amount you want, Mahomes is going to cover that that loss you got there. Evan Ingram, I think, is a great tight end to have in fantasy right now. And then, the wide receivers obviously are a little on the lower on the list. But like you said, Michael Pittman with Richardson, I think is going to be have a much better year. Godwin, I think will be the best wide receiver on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I do like that. And then Jacoby with Garoppolo, I don't know why. I just feel like those guys are both boring, and that's why they'll connect. They're just all
about Rasheed Rice.
fundamentals.
He could be a sleeper.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice. I don't even know who that is. So
He could be a combo. He's a rookie wide receiver out of Rice who went to the Kansas City Chiefs. Could be a combo right there. He could develop into one of his top two options. So,
ooh, I like it. And Sir Bong's a lot in the clouds. What's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. Hit that like button for it, Bongs. You probably already did, though. I mean, he does it good for us like that. So, when it comes to the wide receivers, I love Godwin. I rode with Godwin all year last year. He did me right. Like Trey said, Baker Mayfield over there could be good, might be bad. Who knows? But I'm a big believer in grabbing a couple wide receivers off the waiver. Guys that nobody saw coming are usually hanging out there. And, you can probably get you a good guy. Christian Watson, nobody saw this kid coming, and he ended up being one of the top guys towards the end of the season last year. So, and that's usually how I play my wide receivers because there is so many of them and so many of them that can produce for you. But I love how you took your running backs like that because I'm big on running backs, man. And there's not a ton of those guys that are going to produce for you every week like most of these guys I can see here probably are going to do.
No, that's the scariest list of running backs I've seen in a long time on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just think if you walked up to Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, and Dameon Pierce in a bar, you're gonna lose.
No.